Thank you for joining us. One of the greatest mistakes of life is to let one's guard down in the thick of a battle or when victory is near. As Nigeria battles to flatten the curve of COVID-19 infections, President Muhammadu Buhari says the country is not ripe for total lifting of lockdown yet. As such, the president directed the phased easing of the lockdown to be sustained for another 2 weeks. This applies to the nationwide curfew, the ban on interstate travel, and the lockdown in Kano State. President Buhari has also urged state governors to work closely with the Presidential Task Force, PTF, on COVID-19 to check coronavirus pandemic in the country. Babajide, when we are looking, if we are to review what happened in the last 2 weeks after the official lockdown has been eased, the 24 hours, so to say, now that we are running between the 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, the curfew, and the way people have gone about their businesses in the last 2 weeks, when you want to assess it, will you say you are in any way impressed?
I would say when it comes to the curfew, it's largely effective. Yesterday I moved around. I went to the Adlen Avenue area,
Okay.
right up to
After the 8 p.m.
Okpebi, yes.
Okay.
Around some minutes to 8, I began to move around. I still saw those hookers standing by the roadside, so I was wondering who they were waiting for to pick them when their patrons are supposed to be inside their homes. But they were there, nevertheless, in their skimpy dresses.
Yes, red light district of that
They
area.
were waiting there. Some were hanging in front of the clubs in that area.
Okay.
So were hanging around. And policemen mounted a roadblock in front of the
roundabouts. Roundabouts.
Yes,
Yeah, I know
they
that
mounted
roundabouts.
a roadblock, and then further up too, there was a roadblock, and there are still a few people too who sell what's it called? No, these are friends from the north
Mishai.
who sell.
Bread and egg.
Meshai is now have transited to cooking noodles. You know, so I still saw those ones, and I'm like, they're supposed to be curfew, but you guys are cooking noodles. So who will come and eat noodles in the night? So my suspicion was,
If they don't have customers, they won't cook.
Yes,
People will still go there.
People, my suspicion was that, okay, maybe anything from 10, 11, because invariably the policemen will get tired, they will leave the checkpoint. It's at the thick of the whole action that you see them there. After a while, they will dissolve into their barracks. So I suspected that, okay, there are some people who come in the night to that red light district, and it's those people who come and pick women, and probably they were preparing
dinner.
Yes, for such people. And then some of those girls too, they could get hungry while waiting for their.
Okay, you didn't check. You didn't check one popular joint opposite Airport Hotel. You know, there's one popular joint. They cook 24 hours.
Okay, no, I didn't go to that place.
I mean, they cook. No, not 24 hours. Dead in the night.
No, they cook. Even when we were in the news, we used to go and eat there like 3 a.m. You eat.
Yes.
I know where I'm talking about.
Yes. It's only at night.
Yes.
One street like this.
But the truth is, I wanted to see how the red light district, had responded to the matter of curfew. And I saw for myself that, look, even with a gun to the necks of some people, they will still stand there waiting for patrons. I saw some.
Their own livelihood.
I saw some of them, escaping, running away from. Maybe I didn't see anybody chasing them, but as the Yoruba they will say, "Oh no, only Benny can." So it was just running. She didn't even look back. I said, nobody is chasing you now. I couldn't see anybody. But once I moved away from that area and coming down to Baja, there were very few vehicles on the road. Commercial motor complied because without them, who then picks people? So a lot of people are stranded, stranded. So the curfew generally has worked. But when you go into Akute,
that's Ogun State, the
Ogun
boundary
State,
area.
we go into, they are not behaving like there's a curfew.
Business as usual.
As soon as you get to the bridge, you move further forward. There is no semblance of a curfew in place. Maybe they think that the curfew was meant for Lagosians.
They're in a world of their own.
They can't be bothered, They can't be bothered at all. They are just doing their thing normally, as if there's no curfew. So this is the situation. As per the men, because I believe that everywhere you call for a lockdown, it imposes a huge sense of responsibility on the people. You are trying to ease the burden on the people. But the people have the responsibility to behave in the right way.
That's what.
Now I saw a picture of Computer Village. The person claimed that picture, photograph was shot yesterday. I will have to investigate.
Okay.
I don't think that even the busiest market in Nigeria can be as crowded as what I saw. So it's like, what's going on here? In fact, the crowd that I saw was worse than some of what we saw that first day in those banks. When it seemed like, Nigerians just went out like bees. That's what I saw there, that picture. So if people are behaving like that without a care in the world for social distancing, then nobody should be surprised if the number of new infections in Lagos is climbing. There's nowhere that you ease the lockdown, that you don't experience a spike. Even in America, in the last 2 weeks now, it's been going up again.
Asuko, we've sustained this figure because I noticed that in the last 2-3 weeks too, this figure has been sustained. Is that 100 and something at a full sweep, or 300 and something, or 200 and something? We've not done sub 100 in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now, Nigeria records 216. That was at 11:30 yesterday. COVID-19 cases as pandemic tolls 6,175, and the deaths, the level of fatality is now 191.
If you look at it from that May 4th till today, the increase has been about 47%. If you look at, if we are to do the statistics, and look at the numbers, because at May 4th we had 2,802 in 34 states, including the FCT, and then the deaths then was even very, very small compared to today, that we had which is about 6,000, and the death is about 191. So in 2 weeks, we've had about 3,373 cases. If you look at the numbers of 2,000 until 6,000, so it means it's growing gradually.
Rapidly.
By the time, and it's rapid. And we don't even know how many people are carriers of this virus.
Because of tests?
Yes, because it is the more tests that we can. And if you look at even the number of tests, as at the 4th of May, we had about 18,506 tests, samples tested. Then as at today, which was yesterday, that they brought out results, 35,345. So it means for 2 weeks, the NCDC and all those who are involved have been able to carry out about 16,800 cases in sample tests, meaning that if we carry out more tests, we'll have more numbers. And why people should not be surprised about Lagos is because Lagos is carrying out more tests. They are the only ones who have decentralized their sample collection centers.
Every
you
day.
know. So about 20, the 20 local governments have centers. You can go there if you have the symptoms, or you feel you have the symptoms. You go there, they collect your sample, they tell you, okay, come back in so time to come and get if you are negative or you are positive. But other states are different, you know. Other states, like, I know there are some states that they don't even have the capacity. They will have to get the samples and then travel far for them to get the results, you know. But Lagos,
Yobe now, they will go to Maiduguri.
they will go to Maiduguri. You know, like even Cross River that we are saying some last week, they have the isolation center, but they don't even have the capacity to test. They have to take their samples to Benin, you know, for it to be
quite a
tested.
distance.
You know, so you can see the distance. So if more states have this capacity, we'll be able to know if these numbers are going down or they are going. But as it stands today, the numbers are rising. And the only way we can stop these numbers from rising is if the government can decentralize more, then people also sit down in their houses and stay at home if possible. If you don't have anything to do out, stay in your house. Because even the so-called interstate ban that the federal government said, oh, stay in your house or stay in your state, people are still coming in. They are still, just like the Nigerian border is porous, the state boundaries are also porous. So
fact,
people
somebody
still
told
find
me-
their way to Lagos.
Somebody told me that he wants to go to Abuja on Friday, and that he intends to travel by road.
You can see, by road. And they would, it means that,
Yes.
so
It's
what
sure
happens?
that
You
we'll
want
get
to
it.
go to
It
Ido,
means that people are still
go
traveling.
to all
Yes,
the
no.
normal motor
You know,
parks.
so if people are not using the flight, like somebody, just
Yes,
like
the absence of
DKO
the
just
flights.
said, somebody, I know of a friend that came from Abuja down to Lagos. And I asked him, I said, how much did you pay? He said 25,000. I said, but if on a normal day, I told you, take flight, you will say, okay, it's too expensive. But you spend 25,000 suffering yourself. He
By
said,
road.
okay, I sleep for road. I said, why won't you sleep? You know, so by road, 25K. You know, so people should understand that
Whereas
this is
Abuja
for our
even
lives.
31 or even less than that.
Yeah,
You know,
on a good day.
you know, so let's just see how this thing, the numbers will keep rising. So, and the WHO has said that Africa should brace up. Africa should brace up. If you look at across the world, people
They've
are,
had their fair share.
they have it. The numbers,
The worst,
we are all going up.
they've seen it all.
You know, like Italy, for instance, Italy was the worst hit. At some point, it was like every day, 1,500 deaths, like that. But now they've been able to, it's like if it was even the whole population. But the numbers is dipping now. It's going down. After a while, perhaps it will be Africa's turn to go up. And it will be exponential, that we won't be able to, you know, hold on to what do we do. And we don't have the facilities, Ayo. We don't have the infrastructure. If anything happens today, that we have more than these numbers that we are seeing today, God forbid.
Jide, in spite of the fact that we've said it severally on this program, and you know, our attitude to religion, you can just see again, Kano State is reopening for congregation, worship, Salah prayer. That's from Saturday, Sunday, and we are saying that Kano, you know, Kano, they've been able to manage it to some extent, but this is not a good move. If in Saudi Arabia, if they cannot open the Kaaba, I see no reason why Kano State should open for Salah.
It's not only Kano State. It's
Taraba.
not only Kano. You see some of our governors, they buckle under pressure. Pressure from clerics, pressure from the led, from the people. So I know that they must have been telling the governor, look, you must give us, even if it's just Saturday, you must give us the opportunity, you know, to go out, to go and do this, to go and do that. It's only in Nigeria that we practice, we say, okay, we are in the lockdown, and we say some days for people to stock up.
Go and restock.
So everything that you were able to stop from spreading
You have eroded
over
it.
like 4 or 5 days, you then unleash them.
Yes.
Go out.
Not say
Go out and spread
you can
it.
go to the market between this time and this time.
Where is that done?
partial lockdown.
Is that the way the Italians did their own? You saw that picture now. That guy who tried to.
Yes, now that the
way
police guys
he swept him off his
feet and
feet.
handcuffed him.
You know. So if that's the way others are doing it, it wouldn't surprise me. But we're different people. You saw that cleric, that Saudi cleric, who was attacking Nigerian Muslims. That what is the matter with you people? That even me here, it pains me that I cannot go for Jumat prayers. I can't go for congregational prayers. But that is what we have to do. But our people are not prepared to listen. And those clerics are very influential. They can make life difficult for you as a governor. So I can see why some of those governors are doing their best. Let just, even if it's for that day. But it is a counterproductive move. If you release people, oh yeah, go and do prayers. I've had, okay, Gombe, the governor of Borno too, they said, okay, that they will use people to ensure social distancing. But you and I know that
You can't achieve that 2 meters.
in a mosque
No, it's not possible.
and in a church,
It's not possible.
it is difficult now,
But
if
if
not
you like
impossible.
hold 10 services.
Exactly.
How do you keep? How do
capacity.
you get people? See, one thing that I know is for people who have not had the privilege of congregating with their friends, with loved ones
In a long time.
in a long time.
There's no how you want to. You've not seen them.
The zeal with
We've not been
which
to church now for 7 weeks.
the zeal with which they will rush
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 and
to the church,
embrace.
to
and
the
want
mosque.
to embrace each other. Want to. It's been a while.
So the zeal. Maybe you saw what happened with the banks.
Yes.
The
after
day
the
you
lockdown.
the day you say, okay,
Till today.
go and exercise that freedom. Even you now, you ask yourself, why did I do this? So this is the thing. This is the thing. But we should, I've said it, if Iran is the first country in the world where you had a successful Islamic revolution. They always pride themselves as the best when it comes to the religion. They even mock the Saudi people.
The Shiites.
Yes. They even mocked the Saudi people. But look at when this thing came, they knew what they had to do. They stopped public prayers and all that. They stopped it. So this is the thing. We need to emulate those people. I just pray that
I
this
have
will
my
not
first caller.
escalate.
Ibrahim is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Ibrahim.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening. Ayo.
Good evening.
To Babajide.
Good evening.
I'm to the other guys there. Babajide, I'm not Ibrahim from New York. I'm calling here from Nigeria. I think that was the mistake there.
This is Lagos. This is Lagos.
Lagos.
It's not New York.
Lagos.
No, it's Lagos.
So, Babajide,
Yeah?
I want to say something to you. You have become a serious voice to the voiceless Nigeria, yourself and Ayo. And I hope and pray that those who are listening, those in authority, they are hearing you. Not that they are not hearing you. I hope their ears will be opened wide to listen to what you are saying.
Yeah.
Me, I don't know why in Nigeria we claim or we think we are more religious than any other person in the world. We claim to be religious and we are the people committing the worst atrocity.
Yes.
Where there is no governance, nothing is happening. But we are just using religion to deceive ourselves. Because I cannot imagine where we are having a problem that we have no solution to. People are thinking of how to open mosques, how to open churches. I'm not aware that in anywhere, whether in the Quran or in the Bible, where they say when you pray in your house, God will not answer or God will not hear you. But I don't understand. And I just hope and pray as you are speaking to them, they are able to listen to you.
Thank you,
But
Ryan.
there's a quick thing I also want to bring to your notice
Yeah.
so that you also make Nigerians understand what's going on. There is a problem going on in the Gondo General Hospital. Serious one.
Where?
And budget, the problem is this. For some time now, I'll tell you what happened last week Saturday, between Saturday and Friday. Between Saturday and Friday, close to 4 kids in the children's ward died. And I was there on Saturday morning, from Saturday morning to around about 3. And the reason I came there because of a close friend of mine who the child was also admitted there. And that child died by 3. What I'm trying to bring to your notice, Badia, that a lot of things is going on there that is very wrong. Are you aware?
Which
as big
hospital
as
is
the
that?
Gondo General Hospital, there was no electricity. The generator was not put on. For them to do a test, they had to call the MD to beg him that if he will allow them to put on generator, Badia. when there are emergencies. And the person who was talking to me told me that the reason they are not putting on their agenda is because they will not be having patients. There's no money. I asked them, is this not a government-run hospital? And by the way, to make matter worse, even tests you do in a private hospital for 500 naira, for example, they collect up to 1.5. BBC test, they are collecting 1.5. And they asked this man in question to buy hand gloves for 3,500. How much are they selling hand gloves outside? And still, they are not attending to those kids. They are not doing what they should do. And what even beats my imagination is that fifth oxygen on a little child virginity. Do you know that these nurses, they were sleeping? The mother of this child was there looking at the child. She don't even understand what that is all about.
Ibrahim, thank you. We do our findings on this. We'll carry out our findings in Gondo General
I know
Hospital.
that the Lagos State government officials,
Yes,
they are watching.
They're watching, yes.
The governor is watching.
Yes.
He watches the program.
Everybody,
So
the stakeholders, in Gondo General Hospital.
I'm sure they will take
to
action.
look at the situation there.
Exactly.
As we got the one other disturbing trend is, while this.
But one thing really that people have been saying is that COVID-19 appears to have
scared,
robbed
a lot of other patients
of attention.
Yes,
exactly.
People.
they
That's
don't-
why it's even
They're
projected
scared
that.
to even go to the hospital.
No, even when people go to the hospital, they are not attended to.
Yeah, exactly.
Attention is
Health
focused
workers
more on
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Health workers
So-
are even scared to attend to
Attend to-
anybody.
So people
Exactly.
are
In order
saying
not
now,
to-
people are saying now that there will be more deaths arising from malaria
different.
and other diseases because the focus is on COVID-19. We are not addressing other ailments.
And malaria that is potential.
That is in Africa. That is
dangerous.
the only,
So it could
that
be
is the
one.
most
It could
dangerous in
even
Africa.
be partly to blame for what we are hearing.
Exactly, yeah. So we discovered influx of these young Amajiris from the north and all over, and the people from the southern states. They are now raising concern because if you watch some of those buses, you see those buses, you see cows, and you see them coming with them and everything. And a lot of Nigerians have been saying, "What's happening?"
Definitely, that is what will happen because they are not taking care of them. It's like the state governors over there.
Even some states,
they
they claim,
have-
like Gombe State, say that 12 of them, 15 of them, out of 21, that they discovered that they are positive for COVID-19. So they're like carriers
They will be positive because these are the people that are begging.
on the streets.
Yes, on the street. So once you are giving them money, you are infected and you are passing it to them. They don't know anything that is
They
COVID.
interact with so many people.
Yes,
So many people,
Their own
they
is
have contact
give
with so
me
many
food
things.
to eat. And then you are bringing them down from that side down
No,
to
the
the
truth
south.
is, all
you know?
states, what is happening in all states, and I think the northern governors need to come together on this. All states are expelling Majirai from their states to the states of origin. So, for example, Kano sent
Some guys to
Majiri
Kaduna.
from Kano to Katsina.
Stina to
To
Yobe.
Katsina, they are sending them to
Yes,
because they
different
come
states,
from
different states.
and some of the madrasa, some of the very good Quranic schools are in Kano. So some people prefer their children to be sent there to go and learn. But the thing is, those clerics have chosen to ill-treat these children. This same thing is in Morocco, is in other many Muslim countries. But they don't treat those children shabbily like that. Now you leave them to the elements, they sleep in the open,
Generally,
they don't
that
bath.
system has failed.
They don't
Generally,
bath.
That system.
They don't bath.
The model is not working.
So why won't
Jonathan-
they contract illnesses when nobody fends for them? At that age, you need a mother
young. That's
who
too
takes
young
care of you,
not
baths
to have
for
a
you
guide.
and all that. So, but that's not the thing. Now they are sending, each state is expelling. Oh, these ones, they are not from, I'm expelling.
They are influxing to the to the
south.
south.
You know, which is dangerous. You know?
So
So
it-
dangerous.
I don't know how they are being sent here. I don't know why they are being sent to the south. It may mean that some of their parents are here. Those ones that you see here.
Okay, because
It may
they have their business in the south.
Yes,
You
no,
go
they
to
don't.
Lagos, you
No,
go
of course
to
not. No,
Agege, you
there
go
is-
to Mushin,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
go to Mount 12,
Exactly.
you go to
It may
Obalende.
mean that those places where they are sending them to, their parents are there. That's the way I see it. If they send them to Kaduna, send them to Katsina, that means this is their home.
Yes.
They are sending them to their home states.
So
it's
So are
possible.
you
Don't
saying that, okay,
no,
Lagos
don't.
too, they also have a match?
No. The thing is, they schooling there, but their parents
are in
will
Lagos.
be working here.
In Lagos.
That's what I'm saying, because I don't understand how
You just
they will just
people-
simply send them here. But I know that their parents could be here working, maybe in Agege or the other parts of Lagos.
So it's posting like the kind of threats, difficulty in terms of spread, the containment of the virus.
Yes,
Because
like-
what's the purpose of the interstate lockdown now?
There is
If these
then
people
it
can
has been
move freely,
it has
and
been
most of
defeated.
them are contacted with their,
Yes, it has been defeated completely, because if you are saying interstate ban, then it has to be total. Nobody should move from one particular place to the other. I think in Abuja, I was watching a report yesterday by Sifon. They actually caught a driver who had people inside,
Yes.
the essential
How was able to
vehicle. So and the thing is,
No, it's because
even
the
for you to
president
even,
said
for you
transport
as a
food.
driver, for you as a driver to even put human
being
being.
food that they are
Yes.
transporting, but they are putting human
yes,
beings.
that is even more human than even putting somebody in prison.
Some of them hid inside sacks of
beans and come to Lagos or go to any other place.
I don't know how they survive long journey.
Honestly,
The extreme heat, I don't know how they
it's really,
survive.
really inhuman, honestly. So, but what we need to do is to try and check this transmission. If you are saying you are bringing in essential
Nobody should
goods,
Essential
let
goods
it
is
just be
not bringing
essential
amajiris.
goods. Don't import human beings inside essential goods, because
Okay.
it's like importing.
Okay, I think my producer is trying to show me a visual of, their movements.
Yes, I think today we came in here to seal the Pacific Hotel and Guest Inn at Yanyan for violating the curfew as well as the lockdown restriction order of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. What we did was to get a court order, which you see here, certifiably given and issued by the court for us to seal up this place. The particular hotel and guest inn in question was violated because we got information last week that I think the judge and the prosecutor asked the manager why should this be going on, and he said that was beyond him, that it was the owner of the hotel who gave permission and not himself as the manager. Our own prosecuting team had to pray the judge that the hotel be sealed up, and upon the prayers we actually gave, the judge was very kind enough to allow us seal the hotel pending when they comply to the lockdown directive. That's what we are doing here at the moment, trying to enforce that order by the judge, and we appeal to other hotel and as well as guest inn and nightclubs in the city to please cooperate with us and ensure that all of this do not happen, so that we can together join faith to fight COVID-19. And where we see contraventions, we will not hesitate to approach the court to give us injunctions to seal such airing nightclub, such airing hotel, and such airing organization in line with the fundamental principles that govern the rule of law.
That task force there, to check the level of compliance.
Exactly.
Yes, we said
It happened today.
That is new. It happened
new.
today. So this does not. Hotels don't fall into classification of essential things, sectors services that are meant to open yet. So churches, bars,
Bars,
banks,
even restaurants,
swimming pools, social
you are not
gatherings.
supposed to sit. You are going there, buy and
buy
leave.
takeaway.
So, so
that
bars
infraction
out
there
of
in
it.
Abuja is being
Hotels
taken care of.
out of it. Although even the association have been complaining that they also have to open up, their own businesses so that they can make money. But for now,
that is the situation.
It is the situation. Even around the
what
world.
was obtained 2 weeks ago
around
is
the
something
world.
that will continue for another 2 weeks now. Babajide, still on the religious gathering, we still have some pastors opening their churches.
Yes, opening churches, just as some Muslim clerics too are leading congregational prayers illegally. So it's been tough, especially in the Abuja area, for this young man to enforce the directive of the president. It's been really tough. And I don't understand why our people are going to this extent. I mean, you are not going to die.
Instead of you to embrace the online
revolution
that is going on right
there
now.
There are even other ways, even if you choose not to do online. There are there are religious congregations that you can have at the level of cells.
Family.
Cells, of your
15,
church.
10.
Yeah, 10, 8, you can do it. It's
like
allowed.
The house fellowship.
House fellowship
Yes,
model, yeah.
that's what I meant by cells.
Yes, house fellowship.
You have it everywhere. You
don't have to assemble.
You just appoint people.
Yes, to go
you say, okay, in
the,
Akute or
this
in
is the particular place.
College Road and all these places. Look at the people who will be in charge of the cells.
Yes, you can even visit. You can even choose days to visit.
Yes.
They are distant. Like
if they are well organized, every family that attends the church will be covered.
Honestly,
because every time you come into a church, they take your particulars. They take churches that are very well organized.
Yes.
If they don't see you one Sunday, they will call you.
Send you text message.
By the same token, by the same token, you can follow up and link up with those families and get them to worship.
One of those hearing pastors, so we mentioned
even
it yesterday.
denied his congregants.
Very strange characters parading themselves as pastors.
We shouldn't get to this point where pastors will be denying members. It's a simple thing. Even it's there in the Bible. If they say respect the authority, give unto Caesar what is Caesar. If we have a constituted authority and they say don't go out. Don't go out means don't go out.
I don't understand.
Don't worship.
So people
don't put yourself in this kind of.
You can't put yourself in this kind of an embarrassing situation.
If we watch that video to the end, even the woman, with all the advancement, you are saying it does not exist.
You are saying it's
something that killed a whole chief
malaria fever.
He was staff
to the president.
You are saying it doesn't exist.
I say it's a scam. This is because you want to open.
You want to open your church. You just open the ministry of 120,000 people.
You just want people to
come. You want people to come and congregate and spread the coronavirus.
When this thing goes away, you will still be able to open that.
Oh, exactly.
Maybe it's souls that you want to win.
Babajide, it's even scandalous. Go and check. Go and Google it. First 10 largest churches. You will see them. First 8.
Surprised that there will be so many so-called Christians who are suffering today. Every day, every Sunday, they go to church. But since this thing happened, their pastor has not called them. He has not given them palliative.
How many people will live?
At least they have house fellowship. They will say, go to house fellowship. They will say, pay for this.
If your church is as big as an NHS church, will you be able to call everybody?
They definitely have cell.
They will have cell.
So if they have not been calling you to give you palliative,
the pastors, the people who work for them, the workers, the church workers, they can call.
We have zones, and we have leaders.
Because this is a critical period, people will need the backing and the support of the church.
Yes, people are going through a lot.
Yes, outside. That is why they call the church
like a charity organization. Look at a church in the US now, where the man said, "Okay, you've been paying tithes for so long." He invited them during this lockdown.
Yes,
he put the envelope on people's table.
Big paycheck.
Yes, so that at least there's the church giving back to the congregation what they have been, because he knows that this is a difficult time for them. So the church is giving back. Fantastic. How many of our churches are giving back in that manner? How many?
Fantastic.
We just want to continue to take from our people.
All right, moving on now. In a supposed peacetime, it is a call for worry when people die in thousands. The International Crisis Group says insecurity in Nigeria's northwest has claimed 8,000 lives in the last 10 years. According to the report by the group, about 260,000 persons also displaced within the same period. The report stated that most of the victims of the violence were from Zamfara State following upsurge in banditry, cattle rustling and kidnapping. In the wake of this, gunmen suspected to be Boko Haram fighters attacked Dapchi in Yobe State. The insurgents set fire on the palace of the district head and forced many shops open to cut away food and other items. Babajide, this is not Northeast. Northeast has been the most challenged.
Yes.
At the Yobe, Meduguri, and Adamawa axis in the last 10 years, since 2009. Now, this is Northwest. So, for you to have a kind of clearer view of the insecurity across the country. So, if you are talking about Zamfara, if you are talking about Katsina, if you are talking about Kaduna, you know, if you are talking about, you know, Niger, they've all had their fair share. Those states are actually not safe. So, 8,000 lives lost in the last 10 years. I'm sure this is just a conservative figure.
Yes, I will give 2 examples. Sometime in 2013, bandits struck on a market day in Zamfara State and killed more than 100 persons on a market day. They had been attacked by the vigilante in the area. So they wanted to avenge the killing of their members by the vigilante. So they then launched a brutal counterattack, killed more than 100 persons.
More than 100
Yes.
in the community.
In fact, it prompted me to push Somna Sambo to do a special on,
Yeah.
which later won the Wole Award. Yes, it was that incident that got me to push him to go to that area, and then he matched it with Katsina. With what happened in Katsina, I went to Faskari and all those, and he won the award for Reporter of the Year. Apart from that state, Katsina, the day Goodluck Jonathan went to Katsina to campaign in 2015, more than 100 persons were killed. That same day that Goodluck Jonathan was in the town, bandits killed more than 100 persons. Anyone in that state will remember that incident. Close to 120 persons killed in one day.
So wiped out.
And it's been like that. You know, it's not, if you listen to Senator Dansadao, he has said it before that these bandits had killed more people than Boko Haram. It's just that Nigerians don't. He has said it, and he has detailed the killings in his home state of Zamfara. He has detailed.
It used to be the hotbed.
Yes. They still,
Banditry.
they've not stopped totally in Zamfara. They've not stopped, though. It's just that it came down. These last few days, they've gone back to Zamfara to kill people.
It's just that Katsina has
You
overtaken the cycle.
You know what happens is you have peace. You, a leader of bandits, you negotiate with the government. You say, okay, my people will no longer
Stop you.
Bandits will now come from other places
An attack.
to say, okay, you
Since
don't want.
you've ceded your jurisdiction,
they
will take
will now
over.
That's what is happening in Katsina. Because the governor negotiated, the governor
A certain individual,
and
so-
the secretary of the government of the state, in fact,
Alhaji Mustafa Noah.
yes, Dr. Mustafa Inua, went to meet them. He rode on a motorbike to negotiate with the bandits where they were camped. Yet, they've gone back to killing people. And it's because they can freely escape. 8 local governments in Katsina. One thing is peculiar to all of them, the Rugu forest. And that Rugu forest is very, very extensive. It will lead you to even Kebbi State. From there, you can also go to Niger Republic. You can go to Central African Republic. So they have a huge forest to play with. You just keep looking for them. They have carved fiefdoms for themselves in our country. If you go to Niger, one of the bandits who ran away from Zamfara, after he killed the man who used to be their leader, Buhari Daji. Buhari Daji is that bandit that you saw that picture of Governor Masari standing.
Okay, standing with...
that's the leader of the bandits in Zamfara, who was later killed by Dogo Gide, that handsome Fulani boy. He killed him because he rustled cattle belonging to Dogo Gide's in-laws. And Dogo Gide went to him, Mike, you stole cattle belonging to my in-laws. Buhari ignored him. He now brought his own fighters. And then they killed Buhari Daji and left his corpse in the bush for so long. He had decomposed even before the security men went to fetch him. Now, the point that I'm making is, after that, knowing that Buhari Daji was the leader of the bandits in that area, who had also planted his boys in different areas, in Jibia, in different local governments, in that northwest
got
area.
the attention of government.
He ran away.
Okay.
He then ran away to go and set up his own operational base in Niger State. So when you see the bandits operating...
He left Katsina for them.
Yes. No, he left Zamfara for them.
And
went all the way to Niger State. Now, when you see bandits operating from that, from Niger right up to the border with Katsina, that is the Funtua area, he's in charge of that whole area.
Kingpin.
He's in charge. Handsome young boy. I don't think he can be more than 28, 29.
How did we get here?
Because now we have tried military approach. It has not worked. Do you know how many times they bombed them in Zamfara? Yet those guys, look at the one who was speaking. I said that if not because his religion, Islam, frowns against it, that he will have continued killing people and there's no policeman or soldier that can arrest him. He said it openly. The IG had to say, okay, I support the idea of making peace with these people.
Guys.
The IG. He supported the governor, the current governor. That's how they called those boys and say, okay, let the killing stop. Then for some time we've had peace. They've gone back to killing people in Zamfara. This is a fact. They've gone back. It may not be like we are seeing in Katsina now, but they've gone back. It may not be like we are seeing in Niger, but they've gone back. So are they now in charge of our country? That we can't deal with them?
The essence of any government is protection of lives and property. And once that purpose has been defeated, I don't know what other function government will perform in responsibility, because it's a fundamental, it's a primary responsibility of governments.
Yes, exactly. It is the primary responsibility. But once the government is also helpless, what do you do?
Helpless how?
Helpless in the sense that
they're overwhelmed.
He's overwhelmed.
Maybe
like
the state government.
The state government.
The federal government.
The federal government is not, because recently they sent special forces, down to Katsina, to deal with the bandits. But the state government has been trying, especially the Katsina state government, he has been calling for support and even try to negotiate with these bandits. But even with those who have repented, the unrepentant ones will go there and kill them.
Take advantage again. That okay, you've collected your own.
Yes,
it's not my own turn.
Because once you repent, you are going to begin to give them information, intelligence report. Okay, this is where this person is. This is where this person is, and the best thing is they will take you out, so that you don't tell them, you don't leak their own secrets, and that is what has been going on in Katsina. I don't know if you saw it recently that the people in Jibia actually blocked the highway.
Yeah.
It was because the bandits were about to attack them. And from what the source I got was, they even called the police, the highway police, to assist. Those ones were saying that is not their own work. Their work is to stop smugglers from coming in.
Oh, man.
They can't even
stop.
They can't stop them.
They can't stop them because
they come armed and they're usually many.
Yes.
They can't stop them.
When you have like 500 bandits on bike coming with sophisticated weapons, what do you do? So we are talking about Boko Haram in the northeast. Now we are now talking about bandits. And they don't just come and steal whatever they want to steal and kill.
They kill people.
They kill, they rape. And they
ruthless.
are also into kidnapping. So it means if they kidnap anybody, they are looking for money. And they do also go into cattle rustling. So you can see it's a big problem.
They're coming down to Kaduna.
Kaduna
Kaduna
the federal government has
Kaduna too is not even safe.
No,
Southern Kaduna, everything.
has never been safe in the real sense of the word. I support Governor Nasru El-Rufai's stance to not negotiate with them. Because when we are seeing those who negotiated and they come back to killing people. So Nasiru was right in not negotiating with them. But the government needs to assist the states. I imagine a governor is doing well like Nasiru. You have to give it to him. But in terms of security, I do not rate him high. Because the killings are too frequent. Even inside, you know, a friend sent me a message to say they came into his house to kidnap his wife. I was talking about, he said, yeah, I saw you. But they came into my house to kidnap my wife. I've been saying it that bandits go in broad daylight, they kidnap people in Chikun local government of Kaduna, because part of Chikun is in the metropolis. They just go kidnap people. I mean, we are not living in a lawless society. We've got to be very ruthless with these bandits. We've got to work harder. We've got to sit down and ask ourselves, how do we deal decisively with these guys? It takes serious planning, and it takes watertight tactics. Not that we are planning and then they get to know so that they can run away. As we have seen, even with Boko Haram, when you are dealing with these guys, don't imagine that they are down or totally down. Because what I heard that Boko Haram did in Dapchi, I don't expect it to still be happening. I don't expect it to still be happening, given some of the stories that we are hearing, that Shekau wanted to surrender, although I said from the beginning that one cannot be true. He will not surrender. That caliber of terrorists, they don't surrender. They would rather die.
It's true.
Baghdadi didn't surrender now. He killed himself, killed his wife, and killed. So he will not surrender, he will rather die. The group that is giving giving our soldiers problem is ISWAP. And ISWAP is not Shekau's faction. Shekau's faction is the weak faction, very weak.
Not
you know?
Sophisticated.
Yes. Now, is that same faction that went kidnap the Dapchi girls, they've gone back to that area. That Dapchi area, right up to Babangida, I can't count how many times they've gone to Babangida village, and you include Gaidam too, because they have a big cell in that area. They are operating from that area. So constantly they are attacking those communities. Now you took that girl away. Now you've gone back there to terrorize them again. We have to put security men on ground. Even Dapchi is not really secure.
Ordinarily, villagers from Dapchi, they might have just even abandoned the village if they know that, look.
In most of these villages, if not that they still have youths who will say, okay, we want to take up. And it's going to get to us to that point whereby youths themselves will take up hands against this bandit. And then it means that that area, anything called governance has collapsed. Because by the time people begin to go into self-help, then why do they need a government? They don't need a government anymore. So that is why government will have to find a way to see how they can stop this, put these guys in their
because it's
just getting too much. The deaths is just too much. 100 today, 50 tomorrow. No. They are human beings.
Not east,
because,
not west.
Because at the end of the day,
central,
let me tell you, every at the end of the day, 4 years from now, or some years from now, there will be elections. And elections will hold in those places.
Many places election will not hold though. If the place is not safe, they won't do elections. They will go and do election in the IDP camp. That's what happens.
So, capital.
This last election, how many elections held in
the local governments?
When almost all the 10 local governments in Borno North have been taken over. So where did the election take place? The elections took place inside IDP camps. Who can go into those cities to do election? When some senators have not visited their state in 4 years. In fact, Senator Kiari told me that, Jide, you said I've not visited my town in 3 years. I've not visited since 2014.
It's buttressing what you said.
Yes.
Saying that is even more than that. He added 6 years.
The governor's hometown, Zulum, is in Monguno local government. Nobody goes there. That's a
Still
fact.
governor now.
Nobody goes to that place. Nobody.
Wow. I
my
think
God.
we will continue our series on this, and we'll still be
No,
looking
because we need
as we're
to keep
looking
talking.
at COVID-19. We'll still be looking at security
Because people are dying.
It is essential.
Behind,
people are dying
behind
but
COVID-19.
That's
People
what
are
those
dying.
guys are saying. They say we prefer COVID-19 to kill us
Yes,
than for
people are
bandits
dying
to kill
behind.
us.
You know, it doesn't make sense.
When it gets to
and
that
now,
point,
and
then
people
it
are
takes
also being displaced. Nigerians are now refugees in Niger
Their own
Republic.
country. No, even some of them in their own
You know,
country.
even in Nigeria, yeah.
And Niger.
we have one of the largest IDPs around
Yes.
around the world.
No, it doesn't speak well
Okay.
of Nigeria at all.
Asiko James, thank you so much. And Babajide Kolade Otitoju, thank you for your
Thanks.
contribution
Thank
to
you.
this program. And that's our offering. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch Journalist Hangouts on our platforms showing on the screen. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv.